The holographic display flickered to life in the center of the xenobiology classroom, casting eerie blue light across the diverse collection of species seated in tiered rows. Instructor HFY's four arms gestured dramatically as the footage began to play. Class, what you are about to witness is perhaps the most terrifying predator discovered in the Outer Rim, the Calaxian professor announced, his chitinous exoskeleton clicking nervously. The footage was recovered from the research vessel Harmony's Edge before it was lost. The hologram showed a creature stalking through dense forest undergrowth. It moved with fluid grace despite its considerable bulk, muscles rippling beneath a coat of golden fur marked with dark rosettes. Yellow eyes gleamed with an intelligence that sent shivers through half the classroom. Observe the retractable claws, HFY continued, pausing the footage as the beast extended razor-sharp talons from massive paws, each measuring nearly 8 centimeters in length. Note the powerful jaw structure, designed to deliver a crushing bite force of over 500 pounds per square inch. A collective gasp arose from the assembled students. The Vorthak representative's tentacles writhed anxiously, while the crystalline Etherians chimed in distress harmonies. The species designation is Panthera leo, HFY said, his translator struggling with the unfamiliar syllables. But the human researchers who first encountered them dubbed them lions. They are apex predators capable of taking down prey many times their own size through coordinated pack hunting strategies. The footage resumed, showing a pride of lions, working together to bring down a massive herbivore. Their teamwork was flawless, each member knowing exactly when to strike, when to retreat, when to deliver the killing blow. Their hunting success rate approaches 60% when working in groups, the instructor continued. They possess enhanced night vision, acute hearing that can detect prey from over a mile away, and can reach speeds of up to 50 miles per hour in pursuit. Ali, a Zephyrian exchange student, raised one of his crystalline appendages. Instructor, surely no intelligent species could have evolved alongside such monsters. The psychological trauma alone would prevent any civilization from developing. An excellent observation, HFY replied. Indeed, no known species has successfully shared a planet with such formidable predators, which makes the next part of our lesson particularly fascinating. The hologram shifted to show a new scene, a sprawling settlement with strange architecture and primitive vehicles. Bipedal figures moved about their daily activities, completely unaware of the danger lurking just beyond their perimeter. This footage was taken on the same world, HFY said quietly. The planet designated Earth, home to not only these apex predators but also to an intelligent species that somehow not only survived their presence, but thrived alongside them. The room fell silent except for the nervous clicking of chitin and the soft chiming of the Etherians. Humans, whispered Kickstar, a reptilian saurian. I've heard the stories, but surely they're exaggerated. In the back corner of the classroom, Lise had been quietly taking notes on her datapad. The human exchange student was one of only 3 of her species in the entire galactic university system. At the mention of her homeworld, she looked up with mild interest. The footage continued, showing more scenes of human civilization, their cities, their technology, their art. But periodically it cut back to the lions, always present, always watching from the edges of human activity. What we're witnessing defies all known models of evolutionary development, HFY explained. No species should be able to coexist with such perfect killing machines. Yet somehow these humans not only survived, they became the dominant species on their planet. A student from the aquatic depths raised a gill-covered appendage. Perhaps they used superior technology to eliminate the threat? That's what we initially theorized, HFY replied. But the evidence suggests something far more extraordinary. Rather than eliminating these apex predators, humans actually protected them. The classroom erupted in confused chatter. The concept was so alien to most species that their translators struggled to convey the meaning. Furthermore, HFY continued, raising his voice above the din, archaeological evidence suggests that at some point in their development, humans actually domesticated certain predatory species for companionship and assistance. The hologram now showed ancient cave paintings depicting humans alongside wolves, then more recent images of humans with dogs, cats, and even horses. The psychological fortitude required for such behavior is beyond our current understanding, HFY admitted. To not only coexist with predators but to actively form bonds with them suggests a mental resilience that... A hand raised in the back corner interrupted his lecture. All eyes turned to Lise, who had been unusually quiet throughout. The presentation. Yes, Miss Lise, HFY inquired, his mandibles clicking nervously. Having an actual human in class always made these Earth-related lectures somewhat awkward. Lise stood up slowly, her brown eyes scanning the holographic display with casual familiarity. That's a really nice male lion you've got there, she said, her voice carrying easily across the silent classroom. Beautiful mane, probably around 4 or 5 years old, I'd guess. The instructor's exoskeleton began clicking rapidly. You can identify specific characteristics from this footage? Oh, sure, Lise replied with a shrug. Lions are pretty easy to read once you know what to look for. This guy's definitely well-fed, probably the pride leader. See how the other females defer to him and that territorial marking behavior? Classic dominant male. The classroom had gone completely silent. Even the Etherians had stopped their nervous chiming. Miss Lise, HFY said carefully, you speak as though you have direct experience with these creatures. Lise smiled, the expression somehow both innocent and terrifying to the assembled alien students. Well, yeah, there was a wildlife preserve about 2 miles from my house growing up. My dad used to take me there every morning, before school. She paused, seeming to remember something pleasant. There was this one old lioness, Sheba. She'd gotten too old for hunting, so the preserve keepers had to hand-feed her. Sweet old girl. She used to follow me along the fence line while Dad and I walked. The Vorthak student's tentacles had gone, completely rigid. You walked alongside one of these apex predators, willingly? Every day for about 3 years, Lise confirmed, until I started high school and didn't need Dad to drive me anymore. I actually missed those walks. Sheba had this way of purring that you could hear from 50 feet away, very soothing. Allie's crystalline structure was flickering with stress patterns. But the danger, the psychological trauma. How did your species develop any civilization at all with such terror constantly present? Lise looked genuinely confused by the question. Terror? Why would I be afraid of Sheba? She was just a big cat. She gestured at the hologram, where the lion was now resting peacefully in dappled sunlight. Look at him. He's not scary. He's beautiful. The silence that followed was profound. Instructor HFY's forearms had frozen mid-gesture, his complex mind struggling to process what he'd just heard. Finally, the elderly Saurian, Kickstar, spoke in a reverent whisper. Your species. You genuinely feel no fear of apex predators? Some do, Lise admitted, but mostly we just respect them. They're part of our world, always have been. She smiled again, that same innocent expression that now seemed to carry the weight of an entire species' impossible courage. Besides, they're not really that different from us when you think about it. They're just trying to survive, raise their families, protect what matters to them. She sat back down, apparently unaware of the revolutionary implications of her casual words. As the class period ended and students filed out in stunned silence, Instructor HFY remained at his podium, staring at the frozen hologram of the lion. For the first time in his long academic career, he was beginning to understand why humans had become legends throughout the galaxy. It wasn't their technology, their warfare, or even their stubborn resilience that made them extraordinary. It was their complete inability to recognize that some things should be impossible. And perhaps, he thought with a mixture of admiration and terror, that was what made them the most dangerous species of all.